And with that, we'll leave it to questions and discussions with our moderator, Kara Richardson, who's our Assistant Director of Communications for the NCC for PHSSR.
Good afternoon, guys. I hope everybody can hear me correctly. I believe Rick and Aaron, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I have two questions so far, and the first is, what happens if I am a junior faculty and do not have a PHSSR expert mentor?
Please, if you do not have a mentor, please contact me. My name is Jay Swacker. Again, my email, the program email address will be listed at the end. When you email me, just say, I need to get a PHSSR mentor. If you could provide a brief description of your research plan, that would help us out a lot. We've already had a few people contact us, and we are working through the information they give us, and we will provide feedback to them. One good source, if you look on our website, publichealthsystems.org, you should be able to find a list of past PHSSR mini-grantees and their mentors. It'd certainly be a great resource to start looking for them.
Okay. And just in the process, during the answer to that question, there was one that came in that I'm going to add in. It says, are there criteria for a PHSSR expert mentor?
We don't have any specific criteria. However, they need to demonstrate a past consistent engagement in the public health systems and services research community. One excellent resource as well, if you are able to attend the Keeneland Conference, there are normally quite a few hundred people that are involved in public health services and systems research at all levels. Or also if you folks through the National Association of City and County Health Officials, or NALBO or ASTO as well.
Okay, and I'll move on to the next question. I have my concept paper approved and will have my proposal discussed in the fall for approval. Am I eligible to apply? I plan to be a candidate by the start of the grant period.
So long as you are a candidate by the start of your grant period, that you should be eligible. If you are selected as an awardee, it may just be contingent upon receiving a letter that you successfully moved on to your candidacy.
Okay. And jump down. On the work plan template, do we use the key activity headings or can we replace them?
Please just go ahead and use the key activity headings that are provided in the template. We would like to keep all of the work plans that we're receiving from the awardees as uniform as possible.
Okay. And next is, how do you define candidacy for the dissertation option?
Candidacy would just be, as we discussed earlier, you have presented your research plan to your dissertation committee and they have approved the research plan.
Okay. Questions are still coming in. And what can the funds be used for? Incentives for participants?
They are eligible to be used as incentives for participants. Mainly, the big expense is normally personnel, including the principal investigator's time. You may also use it for data analysis or software. There are some restrictions. We do not allow funds to be given to foreign organizations. We don't allow them to be used to purchase equipment or pay for rent or direct medical care or anything of that nature. Again, if you go to the program's website, which we will distribute to all of you, you should be able to find, and also on the online application system, if you look at the applicant references, there should be budget guidelines, which will specify what costs are allowed and which ones are not.
Okay. The next is the Medicaid Analytic Extract, or MAX data, formerly known as State Medicaid Research Files, or SMRFs, are listed as a recommended PHSSR data set. Would comparable patient-level Medicaid eligibility claims/files obtained directly from a state also be considered as a recommended PHSSR data set?
I think it's important to understand that recommended isn't the only ones we would think about funding. So We will judge the applications based upon the merit of the research. So if it's a comparable data set and it's going to, if what you're doing is PHSSR, then we would consider it.
Okay. And next is, could you provide some examples of measures of success that the research project narrative asks for?
The measures of success that we would be looking for, those would be, were you able to publish your research, or do you have a manuscript that we feel would be competitive in a peer-reviewed journal, and also attending the Keeneland Conference?
Really, they're dissemination-based metrics of success.
Okay. And next is, as I have already posed, this person has already posed this question in some of their initial contact, I would like to use a local data set, a county data set shown, not shown at the suggested link, to answer some of the new PHSSR agenda, I think section 4A, and I am asking if this is feasible. And to Jay and to Rick, if that needs clarification, just let me know and I'll respond back to the person that asked the question.
Again, I think, unless I'm mistaken, Jay, we have things we would prefer folks to use, but those are the only things they can use. If the application has merit, it's PHSSR, and the data source is viable, then I think we would certainly consider funding it. Is that?
That's certainly true.
Okay.
That's certainly true.
Again, you know, the data sets that we kind of recommend are recommended. They're not necessary.
Really, we just want to make sure that the data set can be used in some way to gauge the effectiveness of the public health system in the particular area. And that is indeed the focus of their research plan.
Okay. I think that kind of hopefully answers that question. And will you consider applications from individuals who are still junior faculty but beyond 3 years into their initial appointment?
No, I'm sorry. The cutoff will be 3 years after your initial appointment.
Okay. As I write the proposal and cite literature, are the references counted in the page count, or can the references be printed on a separate page, not counted in the proposal page, the page total?
Unfortunately, the online application system that we use only allows for a 2-page document limit when you upload your proposal narrative. The best thing I can tell you to do is to include your citations as a footnote and use a very small font, or use an abbreviated referencing system.
Okay. And will this great dissertation opportunity be available next year? I am about 1 month or so away from defending my prospectus.
We are planning on having another round. Again, this is contingent upon our continued funding from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. But we are currently planning for another round. And again, if you are 1 month from defending your dissertation, you may still be able to apply now if you foresee that your dissertation will be approved prior to the start of the award.